Welcome to Geek Talk, where all we speak is geek. Today was Star Wars Celebration Day 1, and I know a lot of stuff has released online that wasn't officially released. I won't be going over those here because I like having an account. And I know how aggressive they get with these copyright strikes and these bans, so we're going to be just going over the things that were officially released. Before we get into the trailers and stuff, I think that it's important to go over this new timeline, the Star Wars timeline that was revealed, starting off with the Dawn of the Jedi. Then the Old Republic, the High Republic, which we already know, then Fall of the Jedi. I guess. I don't know. I always felt like there was like an in-between place here. Like if you've been keeping up with the High Republic era, it's very distinct from the era that we get in the prequel trilogy. I feel like that qualifies as its own thing. Fall of the Jedi, Rise of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, Rise of the First Order, and the New Jedi Order, which I'm gonna choose to stay optimistic about. I think that this is a bit of a weird timeline. I guess its purpose is to show when the specific movies that they announced today are gonna be taking place, but like the Fall of the Jedi to the New Jedi Order, that encapsulates like 70 years, I'm pretty sure. So just from right here all the way here, it's about 70 years, maybe 80. And over here is all of the rest of Jedi history. I don't know, it's just a weird way to set up the timeline. I mean, I guess 90% of Star Wars content takes place within this time frame, but I don't think that that necessitates like its own categorization necessarily. I'm gonna choose to stay optimistic, like I said, and I'm glad that they're finally getting out of this era. I think that they've kind of been trapped here for a very long time, and it set them back more than it should have. And it feels to me like they're actually going into the future of Star Wars with a plan, as opposed to what they did with the new trilogy. With just one simple long-term plan, I think that they could have saved themselves a lot of stress, and the quality could have been a lot better. 3 new Star Wars movies were announced featuring Daisy Ridley's return as Rey. I'm glad that she feels good enough about it to return. I'm putting faith in her decision as an actor simply because I doubted that she would ever come back, and I doubt that she would have come back unless the script was good, unless the idea was good. Unfortunately, she has had trouble finding roles after TROS, which sucks because Rey, and I will stand on this, I think Rey is a fine character. I think that she was a better character and acted better than even Anakin did in the prequel trilogy. A lot of the love that Anakin gets, I think, is carried a lot by the Clone Wars. And Anakin's my favorite character, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about just performance, the writing. They were in the same boat. And a lot of people hated Anakin. Like, a lot of people called him whiny, annoying, and they were right. I think that Rey was just burdened with a bad script. The Skywalker saga may be over, but Daisy Ridley is set to return, reprising her role as Rey Skywalker in a new Star Wars film from filmmaker Sharmeen Obaid Chino, I'm not sure how to say her name, set a generation after the rise of Skywalker. This as yet untitled movie will feature Rey serving as a Jedi Master, teaching a new generation of Jedis. Jedis? Jedis. Who wrote this? Jedis? Jedi. It is Jedi. Fulfilling a destiny teased in the sequel trilogy. This will also give Rey a chance to honor the memories of all of her fallen allies and to make up for the regrets that her semi-mentor Luke Skywalker had in his own life as a Jedi. This announcement comes as a part of a quasi-trilogy of movies from high-profile directors, all announced today's panel. James Mangold will tell a story set in the distant past, which will focus on the earliest Jedi, while Dave Filoni will helm a project which will reportedly wrap up some of the stories he has set up in the Mandalorian universe, as well as his animated projects. That is interesting. That is interesting. I wonder what it's gonna be about. I guess we'll know after Ahsoka comes out. I think that after this season of The Mandalorian, which I know some people have not been a fan of, we're going to get like a more definitive push towards like kind of getting all of these ideas to fit into whatever movie that he's making. With so much of what has defined Star Wars in the past now closed off to its creators, the past, present, and future approach seems like the most reasonable one they could take to establish a new trilogy. I don't consider this a new trilogy though. This is just Star Wars movies. Like I feel like they keep locking themselves into this like concept of a trilogy. Just put out a good Star Wars movie. Star Wars Rogue One, I think, is the best of the Disney movies. Not a part of a trilogy. Just a standalone good movie over there. Just make good movies, y'all. I know that Sharmeen, I'm just gonna call her Sharmeen. I know that she's directing the Rey movie. I don't know how to feel about it. I know that there's a lot of like political overtones when it comes to like Disney and just Kathleen Kennedy, the whole the Force is female thing. I know that kind of shot them in their own legs, and I just wish that they would step away from the political baiting, because that's what it feels like at this point. Like after years, it doesn't even feel genuine anymore. It just feels like they're trying to generate marketing by like poking hateful people and saying, look, it's female now, just so that they could get mad, just so that 8 people could make videos about these people getting mad, just so that 19 more people who are mad can make videos about these 8 people that made. It's like this weird trickle effect of just hate and marketing that will push people to watch the movie. And I looked into the director, and this is their description here. They're a Canadian journalist, filmmaker, and activist known for her work in films that highlight the inequality for women. And so it's just like, is that what we're doing here? Like, are we making a movie about Rey and the inequality of women? Is that what we're doing? Which it just feels like they haven't really learned much. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't make movies that highlight these subjects. I'm saying that they shouldn't be fucking I'm not supposed to swear. Sorry about that. I'm saying that they shouldn't be Star Wars movies, right? Like, people go to Star Wars to watch Star Wars. You can have those themes, sure, but when you make that a driving force throughout the movie, it just feels over the top. It feels performative. I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna be optimistic for the first time in a long time about Star Wars, and I hope that we get something great from this. Let me know what you guys thought of Star Wars Celebration down below, and if you like the content and want to see more of it, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And always make sure to keep it locked on Geek Talk.